Hello, welcome to Art 3 Virtual. I am recording this so that I can kind of give you an introduction if you are not in class. This project should be I tried to build it so that you can really explore it on your own. Of course, I'm always here to help you if you need anything or to talk about things if you have questions. But this should be a pretty self directed project. However, I do want to kind of preface all of it with a little bit of information, especially because if you're watching this, you're probably not physically in class where I can give you this information. So I want to go over how to navigate this project and just to reiterate, I want to reiterate a little bit of background knowledge on the museums and the exhibition we're looking at. And I also, thirdly, want to show you the workbook that I have created for you to fill out. And I don't like the word workbook, it sounds like it's boring and a lot of work. I hope this isn't boring. I've had fun making it. Okay, so we're going on a virtual field trip. It is virtual because we cannot actually go to Crystal Bridges in the Momentary. And I really wish that we could because this exhibition's really cool. But I think the exhibition's already down too because they are what is it called? They're putting up a new exhibition right now with Nick Cave's work in the Momentary. So this state of the art exhibition that we're looking at is already down. But if you went, great. I really want to talk to you about that and hear your opinion on it. Of course, exhibitions and going and seeing artwork is completely different in person than it is online experience wise. Being in the presence of artwork is usually really important because you get a good idea of the scale of the work. You can really see all of the details. You get up close and personal with it. And we aren't able to do that through VR for what Crystal Bridges has put on their website, but it's still like it's the closest we can get. So we're going to run with it. And I think it's really cool that they have created a VR exhibition. Okay, so first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about Crystal Bridges and the Momentary as museums, and I want to talk about the state of the art exhibition and the reason behind it so that we have a little bit of background information. Um, so we are, air quotes, going to Bentonville, Arkansas. Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art and the Momentary both host the exhibition we're looking at. They each have different artworks from. It's the same exhibition. It's in two locations. So many of us may know Crystal Bridges already, but the Momentary is brand new. It just opened this year. So Crystal Bridges, maybe you've been. It opened in 2011 in Bentonville. The museum focuses primarily on art made in America and nature. You can really tell that they have a huge emphasis in nature due to the architecture of the building itself. Like, I mean, if you look at it, it's built right into all of this green space. It really, I don't know, I think it works well in that space. And this water runs through it. So they are really trying to recognize the beauty of Northwest Arkansas and the Ozarks. Um, yes, those are their main goals. So Crystal Bridges, I don't know how many years ago, realized that their contemporary art collection was just like growing so much, and they decided that they needed a new place to house it. So the Momentary happened. The Momentary is actually in an old Kraft mac and cheese factory. So I put this image of mac and cheese right there. Now I want mac and cheese. Um, it the artwork in here is contemporary art. And contemporary art is the art of today, so that means that it's produced in the second half of the 20th century or in the 21st century. So if you're an artist making art now, you are in the contemporary art field. When they write about your art in textbooks, you will be in contemporary art. Let's see what else. So the Momentary focuses on visual and performing arts, culinary experiences, and festivals. There's actually a large like pavilion right next to the Momentary where you can go to music festivals and stuff. Hopefully someday we'll be able to actually go and participate in that. Yeah, it's a really cool space. I got to go during the opening weekend. I hope some of you got to experience it. It's an alternative kind of space. Like when we think of a gallery, we usually think of, white walls and shiny floors and paintings hung up against white walls, but the environment of the momentary is very different. Um, Let me see if I can pull up a picture. The momentary interior. Cool, comes right up. So the momentary, they actually kept a lot of the factory ambiance, I guess. The floors are the same, they're bricks. These walls are different colors. There's one area, the paint is chipped off. We've got cinder block. It's an alternative art space pretty much. It's not like this is an artwork in the space. It's not our typical mode of viewing art. It kind of like shocks you out of that. So that's, I don't know, that's something really cool. I find that very interesting. If you are into exhibition design, if you think that maybe you want to work in a museum one day, if you want to work as a curator, um, that's something to think about. Like, what kind of, what is an exhibition? What does the space of an exhibition have to do with it? But I'm just rambling here. I like to talk about that stuff. If you want to talk about it with me, send me an email or come up to me in class because I can talk forever. Okay, cool. That's the momentary. So I'm going to introduce the state of the art exhibition. So this exhibition is a recurring exhibition. Crystal Bridges did another state of the art show in, I think it was in 2011 or 2012. It was like right when they opened. It featured work from a lot of different artists around the country. They chose different themes for it. Um, I remember I went when I was in high school when it happened, and I was working there in the teen council and got to meet some of the artists, which was really super cool. Um, yeah, it's just like it's a really cool show because it gets you connected to like art that's being made in America right now. A lot of the people in this show, like some of them are young, like some of them are my age, and I'm not, I'm pretty young. So the range of artwork in this show is just really kind of like fresh and new. It's a good snapshot of what is happening now. So this exhibition in 2020 features 61 artists. The curators of the show drove around America. Actually, I don't know if they drove, they maybe flew in airplanes. But they went to artist studios, they met up with artists, and they asked them about their work and they looked at their work. And then they all got together and decided what work they wanted to put in the show. And while they were doing this, they landed on a couple themes for the show. So usually exhibitions will center around an idea or a theme. Um, Crystal Bridges has created kind of an expansive exhibition with state of the art. I mean, it features 61 artists. That's a lot of people. So it's a lot of artwork. And they decided to land on 3 or 4 different themes. The first one is real and fictional spaces. The second one is home, family, and immigration. The third one is landscapes. And the fourth one is time. So they have they've sectioned all of these themes off within the gallery, and I will briefly show you that and how to see what theme all of the artwork is when you're looking at it. But this is important because these themes, Crystal Bridges is seeing these themes as relevant to right now, things that a lot of artists are making work about. Um, so it's a good way for us to understand kind of what's happening in the art world right now. Cool. Okay, so let me see what I want to show you next. And another point, I guess, about this exhibition is that it's kind of like it's really good to look at art to understand, the art that we like to look at, but also the art that we like to make. I guess I'll use myself as an example. when I was in high school, I really liked abstract expressionism. And when I got to college, I started to realize that I liked that kind of art so much because it was very intuitive. Um, it had a lot to do with surface and texture. And that's something that I really ended up focusing on in my work through college when I went through ceramics. And I kind of got on the path to ceramics and three-dimensional work because I had that original real like connection with the abstract expressionism and the way that it looked, and I ended up kind of applying those thoughts and making three-dimensional work. And that kind of, I don't know if you can hear my cat right now, but I'm at home and he keeps meowing. Oh. He says hello. But when I was in high school, I went with Mr. Francis and Ms. Zimmerman to Crystal Bridges to an art exhibition at Crystal Bridges on abstract expressionism, and that's kind of where that came about for me. So I really wanted to give you guys this opportunity to like go on a field trip, air quotes, to Crystal Bridges to see this work because I think it's important for us to look at it. The other way this is going to function for us is that it is going to give us a refresher on the elements of art and principles of design. And these two slides are important if you need a little refresher on those before you dive into the worksheet. But I'm going to show you how to get there. Okay, so we click on this bus. I was trying to be funny when I did that. I hope you all like it. This is pretty simple to navigate. I feel like all of you will pretty easily navigate this because you maybe have played a video game or two or manipulated a computer before. Um, but we just enter the gallery. There's a voice that's going to talk to you. You can listen to that. She's going to introduce the exhibition. And then once you get here, you can click and drag around and look at all the artwork. Oh no, I moved. One thing, so if you're interested in knowing more about the themes, they're going to look like this on the wall. So this theme is place, and this little blurb of text will tell you more about that. But if you want to look at an artwork that you are interested in, if you hover over it, you can click it. And if you click that, oops, sorry, I clicked it wrong. If you click that, this should pop up and you can read more about it. Some of these have a voice that will speak to you. It'll say all of these words to you. You should also be able to zoom into the artworks. It's kind of cool. Cool. Okay. So I feel like this part will come easy to all of you, but if you have any problems with this, if it's not loading or something's going on, just send me an email. I will very quickly try to figure it out for you. Okay, so I just want to go over a worksheet really quick so that you know what's going on. I know I've been talking a long time. I want you to have your freedom to go through all of this. So I have split all of this up into 4 different tasks. And if you have this open like I do, you can kind of see them and click on them. The first thing I want you to do is just look around the gallery. Just spend time, like at least like 25, 30 minutes looking around, clicking on the different artwork, jotting down anything that's interesting to you. I included this first sheet because I wanted you to write down the 4 artworks, or maybe there are more. You can add more if they're, you should have at least 4 that you're like, whoa, what is that? That's interesting. You don't have to, this doesn't mean that you fell in love with the artwork. This just means that it caught your eye and you were interested and you were curious about it. So basically, you will just like delete whatever text I have and replace it with the information. So I would write the name of the artwork there. I would delete this and write the name of the artist there. And then right here, just tell me why you like it. If it's as simple as you like the color scheme, that's great. If it reminds you of something, write it down. You can be very thoughtful here. You don't have to, I'm not really looking for anything specific. I just want you to be thinking about what you are seeing. And you can also approach this as a list if that works for you a little better. Here, this is just a spot for you to reflect. All of these questions that I've written down are kind of prompts just in case you don't have anything specific you are thinking about reflecting on. You can talk about, I just want you to talk about what you saw, your initial thoughts, and any comments you have that you didn't already put up here. Let's see. So task number 2, find the elements. This is going to just be a way for me to help you all have like a refresher on the elements of art and principles of design, because as we go on in Art 3, it's going to be important for us to understand those at a foundational level and for us to understand how to utilize them in the creation of our artworks. You don't have to find all of the elements. If you want to do that, by all means, you can totally do more work than what I've given you on this project if you want. But I want you to find at least 4 different elements. And what I mean by that is, so if I'm looking at this artwork, I see a lot of texture here. Okay, I think texture is actually a principle, but I'm just going to use that example. So I would take and I would read about this, I would look at it, and yes, I was talking about. No, I was talking about element. Texture is an element. Okay, I second guessed myself. I should not have. So I would take the word texture, I would put that right there, and then I would put the name of the artwork, the name of the artist, and a description. My description might be something like, this artist used texture to really bring out the feel of the space, like how the wood utilizes texture. It also looks like the surface of the painting has a lot of texture on it. It looks a little bit scratchy. The texture in this painting gives the painting depth. Yeah, so just this doesn't have to be like eloquent. I can't talk. It doesn't have to be like beautifully stated. It doesn't have to be an essay. I just want you to reflect on where you are seeing it so that I can understand that you know what you're seeing. And then we're going to do the same thing with the principles. There are quite a few more principles, so I'm going to choose at least 5 of those. And the sheet that I give you will be updated with 5 slots. And then finally, I just wanted to have like some of your final comments, like your thoughts on the exhibition, your thoughts on any of the artworks you saw. What are some of the things that you really enjoyed? Are there some artworks that you really didn't like? I won't tell me why. All the things I just said are optional prompts. You have the freedom to respond however you like to this. I would like it to be more than like 5 or 6 sentences. But here in italics are just kind of some ideas if you don't know what to write. Cool. And then yay, field trip over, back to school. Okay, so I think I have talked like more than enough. I hope that this is a fun project for you all. If you were having trouble with any aspect of it, with navigating it, if something doesn't make sense on the PowerPoint or the worksheet, or if you are having trouble with with this part, please message me via email, or of course, if you're in class, we'll talk in class. But I hope this is a fun project. I think I think it's exciting. I'm excited about it. I keep looking through the galleries on there and I'm like, well, I didn't even notice that when I saw it in person. So cool. Yeah, we will spend the next 2 classes on this most likely, depending on how far everyone gets. But I hope you all enjoy it and let me know if you need any help.